Okay, this is the bottom of the plane. You can see what I've done with the GoPro box is I've put a hole in the bottom of the box so you can push the GoPro in and out when you want to take it in and out. So that makes it so much easier. Plus, another reason I put the GoPro in there when I'm doing this box is because it helps the box hold its shape while you're gluing everything together, which makes the box stay in nice and snug, but not too snug. If you glue the box in sometimes without the camera in it, you'll find that the box might end up being a little bit small or have a really tight fit. This ensures that the final securing of the box also makes it the nicest fit for the box. So basically a nice hole in the bottom so when I go to take the camera out I can push it. So this is in here just like it would be on a Z2, except it's an old school Zeph. I got a hole that goes directly through it and goes all the way into the inside through that back camera area too. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these skids on, show you kind of how it's done. The box is already hot glued into place. I went through and hot glued it all in there and got it all ready. I also pre-sprayed the box with 3M90 and got it nice and tacky. And after I did that and let it dry, I went through and I coated it with that carbon fiber red vinyl that you can get off eBay. It's that 3D twill weave is what they call it. So here's the old piece that was in the front end. You can see where it went. That's the front end piece. I basically set the box on there, traced it all out, and then cut it out with a nice large snap razor. And I find that it's actually easier to go ahead and cut these boxes out and put everything in the front end after the whole plane's built, whether it's a Zeph 2 or a regular Zeph. It works easier that way. It's a lot easier to cut it out and get it all lined up when it's done, and it's easy to put in. So now I have a skid rail here. So what I'm going to do with this skid rail is I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to put a layer of goop, not goop, a layer of hot glue all the way around the edges here. So let's go ahead and do that and we'll get this on this airplane. So here we go. And this will basically, this gives a good part of the strength that where it goes on, and this will lock it all down. Now, it's hot glue on it. I'm going to go ahead and slide that bad boy right on there. And look down towards the plane, towards the motor mount to make sure it's on nice. And now butt it right up against the camera box. And I'll hold that on there until it cools off. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. And this gets them basically put into place so now you can goop them and actually put the real strength down. It's also what I do with the winglets. I will go through and install them with hot glue. On the Z2 I'll make sure that I got the very ends of the wings laminated, and then I'll go ahead and put a layer of goop on the winglet after I hot glue the winglets on. So I'll go through and hot glue the winglet on and then go ahead and stick a layer of goop all the way around, and that is the only way to do it as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that looks really nice. They did a good job on that. And they're nice and straight all the way back to the motor mount area. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go around the perimeter a little bit in a few places and hot glue it, and then I'm going to run completely around the perimeter with goop, and I'll go over that with you right now. What I do is use plumber's goop. Works great. Very nice rubbery glue. And another thing I'll do is use their tip that comes with it. I'll cut it a little bit of an angle here so I can caulk that area around the battery, not the battery, the skids in. So what I can do here is now I will run this goop all the way around these edges. Just fill the cracks. You don't have to go crazy, just enough to help give it some strength and fill the gaps. It'll also tie the camera box in with the skids a little bit. And if you ever need to go and take the camera box off, you can always just take a razor and run it around. So I'll do the same thing here. Just run a layer of this all the way around. And this is what really adds the durability and the strength. If you're just hot gluing them on your airplane, you're going to have issues. If it gets cold out, they're going to pop off. This will keep them from popping off. And just basically, just like you'd caulk in a sink or a bathtub, it's basically what you're going to want to do all around these edges. Adds a ton of strength. Keeps them busting off every time you have a rough landing. And it ties the camera box to the front end. Also makes a nice clean look. And it ties it all together. It's beautiful. I'm also going to do is make a lid for the top of this box that folds over and covers the tops of the cameras too. And it'll be done in the same color red carbon fiber fake looking vinyl. And all I'll do is use this to fill any of the gaps. It also creates strings, so there you go. You got camera box in the Z2. Absolutely beautiful. Sorry, not the Z2, the Z1. There you go. Nice and tied together, nice and clean. Looks really good. Hopefully you guys can learn a little bit from these close-up shots and what I've done here. And that's the process. Now, once this dries, you can literally pound this thing in and it's not gonna come apart. If you CA it all together and hot glued it all in, you might be having some issues. But like this, it's beautiful.